All right, we're doing it. We're live,
Yes, we are.
and it is week 1. I don't know about you, but I'm pumped.
Oh, we've been spending a lot of time waiting for this day to happen, and we're finally here.
This glorious, momentous occasion. Week 1, we are here. I looked a little windy at that Bills game. Oh, Mina Kimes' hair's all blowing around.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. That one and the Cleveland Chiefs game is probably my most anticipated.
Yeah,
Well, and the Darnold Bowl.
the Darnold Bowl.
Jets Panthers.
Yeah, for fantasy purposes, I mean, I'm excited for the Green Bay New Orleans game. I got a lot of underdog stacks of Adams and Rodgers this week just because they were cheap. Everybody was going dig. Everybody went for Diggs and Mahomes and Kelsey and all that and Tyreek. So I mean, you could pretty much draft. I put that in the show earlier this week. You could pretty much draft Devontae Adams at anywhere in your draft and still get, you could get Aaron Rodgers pretty easily. So everybody's chasing rushing upside anymore.
Right. Well, I get it. My DraftKings stacks this week all have Mac Jones in them. Mac Jones this week is cheaper than Mitch Trubisky. Exactly. You want to see a market inefficiency? There you are.
I'm gonna say that's big.
That's huge. I was able to put Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara in my lineup because of that.
Damn.
Yeah. No, it's a good stack.
You're gonna playing a lot of people with that stack, though, right? That's how that's
probably.
Somebody's that's why I like underdog a little bit more because you still do a draft, so you're playing in a pool of people that don't have the same players as you. So it's not like this really annoying thing where you end up playing somebody with your exact roster.
Playing the Sharks.
Yeah.
Exactly. I got my underdog rosters too.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this first week goes on underdog. Honestly, I have a lot. Like I said, I have a lot of good lineups on there. Most of them are obviously our sleeper leagues, but y'all get any start sit questions you have in here for us? We had some in the Discord. Let me see if I can pull those up real quick. Yeah. If y'all want to get in our Discord, you got to join the Patreon. But all right, so we had Zadarius Smith was a big topic for the week with the back injury. Looks like he's going to be playing, so that is good. What up, Shane? What up? What up? What up? I saw Highsmith is playing and Zadarius Smith is playing. So they're two DL guys that were kind of iffy this week that look like they're good to go. Bradley Chubb's good to go, the ankle injury, but I had him as my number one guy this week, and I picked him as my sack lock. I still think he's good for us. I can't change my sack lock, obviously, but playing against Daniel Jones, I don't think his ankle is hurting him that bad.
No. Daniel Jones is going to be my favorite team's going to go off against quarterback this year. Yeah, I think he's got most interceptions written all over him.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I have a list of players that I have as my players I want to target, as crappy quarterback index per myself. Daniel Jones, Jalen Hurts, and Carson Wentz are my top guys that I want to play defensive line players against. Because
that's a pretty good list.
Yeah. Those guys, pretty much, if they're playing anybody on the defensive line, you want them in your lineup. They got turnovers written all over them. And sacks, too. All right, I'm looking here at my rankings for the week. See where I am going to move Bradley Chubb down, I think, just a little bit. What are your big questions for the week? I already moved him down.
Going into week 1,
look at me.
I guess I'm kind of ready to see whether some of these teams that we think are going to be good are actually good. Like the 49ers, they're going against the Lions. Like if they have any trouble against the Lions, I'm going to have some question marks about them. Because the Lions, I don't think are going to be good. So if it's like a shootout for something, I don't like that. The Bengals receiving core, Minnesota's secondary, pretty good, but I think they can be had.
Is it though?
I mean, Harrison Smith's good.
I mean, Harrison Smith is good, but one
The rest of them, I mean,
make a whole
Patrick
secondary.
Peterson, he's alive.
He's out there, yeah.
Yeah.
Potentially, maybe. For a while.
But that more brings me to the point, if the receivers for the Bengals, Jamar Chase, can get things going, this would be the week that he could probably pick on somebody.
He's going to show everybody why he was a first-round pick. Why he won the Heisman today.
It's definitely my question.
Or no, he didn't win the Heisman.
It was Devontae Smith.
Guy. Yeah, Jamar Chase has a lot. I mean, he shouldn't have a lot to prove. It's his first NFL game.
No, but after how bad his preseason was, and then that PFF article, which was a slam job for him, that
doing slam jobs. That doesn't sound like them.
Yeah, it might have taken his words out of context a little bit.
They're a high integrity organization. How dare you?
Yeah. So, I mean, I wouldn't say he has a lot to prove. I would just say maybe he's somebody I'm interested.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be an interesting game to definitely watch overall. Okay, we got Shane. Hit us with some questions, y'all. I know there's people in here. We got 7, 8, 9 people watching. Give us a thumbs up if you are on the YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate that. We hit over 1,000 subscribers recently, which is dope. So here we go from Shane. He said, so I went in Indianapolis this year with defensive players, my IDP leagues, with Aaron Donald, TJ Watt, Levante David, Fred Warner, linebackers, and then Jamal Adams, Pat Surtain. I have Von Miller on my bench for pass rush. Should I pick up Chubb instead of Vaughn? I would.
Yeah.
I think not. Like, Von Miller's a great player, and he does a lot of things great, but he's coming off a big injury. And he's in his last couple of years in the league. So I don't know what kind of upside he's really going to offer you. I think Chubb offers a lot of upside, and people don't realize how good Bradley Chubb was last year in like 14 games. Solid tackle floor. I think he had 7.5, 8 sacks, which a lot of people are like, well, that's not a lot, but it's like, that's not a little. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a little. So there's a little bit more there, I think, than meets the eye with Chubb. So I would pick him up over Miller for sure. What about you?
That I agree. As soon as I saw that was Chubb instead of Vaughn, yep. I think if anything, I think Denver is probably going to look more to put Chubb into places where he could pass rush more than Vaughn. Just
Exactly.
That's just. I think he's just going to have more opportunities.
He's younger. Yeah, I like him a lot. And in 14 games, like I said, in 14 games last year, 7.5 sacks. That's not nothing. 9 tackles for loss. I mean, he gets 17 games this year. I wouldn't be surprised if he has 10, 11 sacks. I feel like I would be surprised if Von Miller had 11 sacks.
Yeah, I would be surprised at that as well.
Back. What up? TM Jumpers Mims. What's your outlook for short-term and long-term for Jamin Davis, Zayvon Collins, and Micah Parsons? I mean, long-term outlook for all three is really good. I feel like that's kind of a given. Short-term, as far as ranking them, I like Parsons a lot. I mean, I've come up on him a lot as the season's gone on.
I was about to say, after that first game, how can you not be excited about Parsons?
Yeah, that first game was good. If you look at some of the deeper numbers behind what he played, like, okay, he only played like 75% of snaps. But, okay, you compare that to Devin White, who played like basically all the snaps. Devin White had 16 or 17 pass rush attempts, and I think Micah Parsons had 15. So that's high equity snaps, even if they're not as many as other linebackers. If he's going to get used like that, which is kind of what we hoped, and I talked about, for Jalen Smith coming into the season, was Dan Quinn last year. I mean, he blitzed the hell out of the Atlanta linebackers, and now he's got, some versatile and quite a group of linebackers. Micah Parsons probably being the top guy. So short term, I'm really, really in on Parsons. I'm also in on Davis, though, and Collins. I mean, I think Jamin Davis has a really good opportunity on a defense that has a lot of playmakers on it to make plays himself. Collins, of the three, I just don't know what Arizona.
We'll see what they do today.
Exactly. I think a lot of these questions will get answered today. We'll have to see how these guys do. Thumbs up the video if you're watching on YouTube, y'all. We appreciate that. We got some more comments here. We're going to try to get to every one of you guys' questions as best we can, so keep them coming. What's your prediction for Joe Schobert's season? Do you want to go first? Or you want me to?
Yeah, sure. I don't think it's as good as it would have been in Jacksonville, and it's just because there's a lot of mouths to feed on that Steelers defense. I think he's going to be good, but I mean, as the only option in Jacksonville to get sacks, I mean, I would take that over and tackles over what they're going to do with. I mean, it's not like they're going to pick on him. Like they're going to go a different direction if you're facing the Steelers.
Yeah. I think he's pretty much a lock for 130 plus tackles, assuming he plays all the games. And I put him north of 20 impact plays. But
do you think it's more or less than he would have gotten in Jacksonville?
I think he'll have more impact plays than he would have gotten in Jacksonville, because even last year in Jacksonville, he got 19 impact plays. And Jacksonville itself as a unit is not a very disruptive defense. So you take a guy like him who's still able to push into that 20 mark by himself on a non-disruptive defense, and now he's got Cam Hayward stuff to it, there's hell everywhere on this defense.
How can everybody eat on, there's only one ball, there's only one person to tackle.
But that's the thing about defense, though. I mean, if somebody gets a quarterback hit and it causes an errant pass that gets deflected and somebody else gets the interception, a lot of people can eat on one defensive play. I mean, you can have somebody,
That's a good point. And I would just more admit, he would in Jacksonville, it would be him rushing the passer and he would be the one getting those. But I get what you're saying.
I think he'll have. But I think his ceiling, honestly, I think he could be the linebacker one. I think there's that much disruption going on around him. I think he's got that high of a tackle floor. I put that out a couple weeks ago. I think he could be. I mean, he's about as safe a lock as a top 10 linebacker, I feel like, as you can have. He's been top 12 each of the last 3 of the last 4 years. And 4 of the last 4 years before he got hurt, what was that in I'm looking here in the index, 2018. He was a top 12 linebacker then too. So he's stacked up 4 years in a row as a top linebacker. And that's not just on tackles, that's on impact plays too. So I like him a lot. How good is Vita Vea? I mean, he's really freaking good. Did you see the other night they lined him up on the outside? And we know, here's the thing about Vita Vea. First off, if he's on your waiver wires or anything like that, go get him. And in defensive tackle premium leagues, I think he's going to end up being a monster for a while, because he doesn't just play defensive tackle. They put him on the outside to rush the passer. Didn't he catch a touchdown last year?
I think so.
Bruce Arians said stuff like that, and he got into block. So if he's getting into block, that means they could hand the ball off to him as a fullback. So basically, when you put Vita Vea on your team, you're getting basically the same floor as every other defensive nose, DT and nose tackle, whatever you want to call them in the league. But you're getting a ceiling of a player who's going to get opportunities that other guys won't get. Aaron Donald doesn't go into block as a fullback. You know what I mean? So he'll never have the opportunity at the 1 yard line to just get a handoff or, get whatever it is. So Vita Vea is already getting used like that. What is he, his 3rd year in the league? It's not going to stop. So get in on him. And how good is he? He's real good.
I agree, man. Vita Vea looked like the best pass rusher on Tampa Bay in that game. He was winning I'm just saying he was winning his assignment at almost every play, it felt like.
Yeah. I mean, and when he wasn't, he was just bullying his way to the quarterback.
Right. That's all I meant. I know there's better pass rushers, but just for one night.
I know what you mean. Yo, give the video a thumbs up if you are watching on YouTube, y'all. We would super appreciate that. We got some more questions rolling in here. I know we're IDP fellows, but for the flex, Raheem Mostert or Swift, PPR. You go first.
I would probably go Mostert, just because Swift is going to have to go against 49ers, which, I mean, the secondary for the 49ers, meh. But I just, I think I'd rather trust Mostert this week against Detroit.
I agree. Because Swift is coming off the injury and stuff, and like you said, the defense is obviously going to be better for the 49ers, so it's going to be tougher sledding for Swift to hit his ceiling than it will be for Mostert. And volume-wise, I think they're both in a similar spot, but I do think that Swift sees more targets than Mostert, so that's kind of how I'm viewing that. We got IDP Bomber in here. What up? Bomber will be on with us in a week or 2 or 3 or at some point throughout the season, probably multiple times, y'all, to help with the live stream as well. IDP Army Crew is out here representing. All right, what we got here? Got another question. Okay, so I'm guessing this is Jordan Fuller or Chuck Clark. What do you think?
Check.
I'm going to say Chuck Clark.
I'm probably just going to lean Chuck Clark anyway, but
he kind of doesn't get the love that he really, really deserves, in my opinion. That even by me when he first kind of was getting playing time 2 years ago, but last year I really I like what he's able to do consistently. I like the team that he's on, another disruptive team. So even if his tackles don't get super high and inflated, the Baltimore's a turnover monster on defense. So there's always opportunities for a guy like that to pick up these lucky plays, because they're happening in a higher pace around him. So I like him more than Fuller this week. Julio, Mostert, or Tyson in PPR? Dude, you got to play Julio.
I think it's Julio. The Arizona secondary is rough.
Are you going to be able to look at yourself in the mirror if Julio's in your bench and you have Tyson who goes off for 4.5 points or something silly?
I mean, he is the only running back in Baltimore for this week, so I could see trying to make that kind of a play, but Arizona's secondary is so bad. I don't know how they're going to stop anyone, and A.J. Brown and Julio are probably going to go off.
Yeah, there's no way I would put Julio on my bench, especially for those two goofballs. That's my opinion. Andrew,
God, you are so hateful towards Raheem Mostert.
I'm playing Raheem Mostert this week in our main league.
I just heard you hating on this guy a lot.
That team, he's on my bench, so you know what? I'm a man who adapts. Okay, now I'm not saying that Trey Sermon is not the GOAT because he will be, but I know that until I see it, it's week 1. I want to come out all my leagues this week with a W.
Week 1,
literally week 1, pull off a win because there's no worse feeling than starting off 0-1 in your league. There's no worse feeling. So that's why my guy Andrew, don't do it. And if you go 0-1 and Julio's on your bench, like you're already in I would be in such a dejected mental place already. I'd be like, fuck, I'm already fucking up my season. We just started and I'm putting Julio on my bench. I would be so mad. Don't do that, Andrew. Don't do it. Cooks, Galladay, Sutton, PPR. Really?
No, I'm just looking at the matchups real quick.
Well, I mean, I don't even have to look at the matchups. So I'm
gonna of course you do.
Who
are you throwing out there?
I'm taking Sutton. I don't want to take Cooks because I don't like Brandon Cooks straight up and down.
You want Sutton against the Giants defense?
Yes, I would rather that than Galladay versus the Denver defense.
That's why I'm leaning Cooks. It's going against Jacksonville.
Yeah, who's throwing him the ball? Tyrod Taylor, what's he going to do? Go off for 160 yards today?
Yeah, 100 of them will go to Cooks. I'd probably go Cooks.
On 2 receptions. That's just 12 points, my guy.
If you think Bradbury and Peppers and all those guys are going to just let Sutton come off an injury and go off with Teddy Bridgewater throwing him the ball, no. You want to talk about 150 yards passing, that'll be Teddy B.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Hit us with some more questions, y'all. We got a few coming in. Let's see what we got here. Good morning, guys, and happy football. Damn straight. 2 quarterback league. Hurts locked in. Do I go Burrow, Higgins stack, or Wentz rushing upside? Thanks. All right, Bill. What
probably.
You got?
I mean, the thing is, Wentz is in a good matchup going against Seattle. But I think I would trust Burrow this week going against Minnesota. I just think they're going to have to – that's going to be a shootout, and he's going to have to pass to keep up. I don't think they're going to be trusting Mixon to run the ball. I think they're going to pass. But Carson Wentz is in a good matchup, so honestly, either one, I could see it.
Yeah, I don't know. That is tough. I would probably go Burrow, honestly. I like Burrow's weapons better. But I will be completely honest with you. Those are all 3 quarterbacks that I do not want on any of my rosters this season. I have Carson Wentz on one roster, and he's on my bench for Jimmy Garoppolo and Derek Carr. That's where I'm at with Carson Wentz.
It's a good matchup this 1 week.
Yeah. It always is. Carson Wentz, there's always that one glimmer of hope, and it never fucking goes away with that guy.
Fair enough.
Get some more questions in. Yeah, Elmo, you right. Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, you already know, Andrew. We holding it down over here. Y'all get any more start-sit questions that you have for us? We would love to answer them.
Yeah, I saw we had some in the Discord.
Oh, do we? Oh, yeah, shit. I forgot all about that. Ugh, I'm the worst. Okay, what we got here? Bard from the YouTube. Oh, he says he's watching. All right, pick 2 out of these 4 options to start. Highsmith versus Buffalo. Dunlap versus Indiana. Cam Jordan versus Green Bay. Or Agba versus New England. Pick 2 of those 4 to start. That's pretty easy for me. I'm going to go Dunlap and Highsmith. I like Cam Jordan this year. I think he's a great player. But Green Bay's line is just, isn't Bakhtiari's not playing for a little while. But I just trust Aaron Rodgers to be elusive enough. They're just coming to a point with some of these quarterbacks where it's just like they know how to not get sacked. And having an offensive line is almost a luxury. That's kind of how I feel about him. That's kind of how Brady made it look the other night too, which is like there's pressure coming. Well, I know, don't worry about it. Right. That's kind of how I feel. So I'm kind of not saying
Ogba's interesting though. Rookie quarterbacks. I always love a pass rusher going against a rookie.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I like him as well. But I know apparently this offensive line is supposed to be super duper incredible for New England, which means something. But there is also the fact that Miami, didn't they force a turnover in every single game last year?
Yes.
And people are like, oh, they won't do that again. But it's like they have a good defense and they have a good scheme and they have playmakers. You know what I mean? Like they have their defense has not been not good for a while. I mean, it's been pretty good. So I'm not saying like that's going to happen again, but it wasn't an accident that happened. So, but I don't know. I might, if I was going to have a reason not to play Highsmith, it would be this week just because I think he and Melvin Ingram are going to rotate a little bit. But I would go Highsmith and Carlos Dunlap. Bard.
I think I would do the same.
Yeah. We should have some inactives coming out here pretty soon. All right, got another question in the chat on YouTube. Bars in the tuck. Who's a better long shot?
I got mine.
Ejax, AJ Green, or Lazard?
AJ Green.
I was going to say AJ Green.
Fire all of your Cardinals and Tennessee wide receivers up.
Yeah. Lazard is interesting too because then they cut Equanimous or whatever.
It did, but MVS is supposedly the 2, and it's like, well, okay, we'll see.
I don't know. I like Lazard, and I think Aaron Rodgers.
I don't like either of those 2s. I wish they would just get him a wide receiver already.
Devontae Adams and a wide receiver.
Well, okay. Other than the one, I'm talking about a second.
I know.
He's had the same 3 cast of characters that nobody likes to play ever.
Give us all your questions, y'all. We got about 5-10 more minutes before we get the inactives coming through. I saw apparently Anthony Barr is not playing. Nick Vigil is playing in his spot. I'm not excited about Nick Vigil. Now, apparently he's going to wear the green dot, so he will play a lot of snaps. But that doesn't overly excite me. So he's got to take the dog out. And what else did I see earlier that was kind of newsworthy or relevant? If you're just joining us, Zadarius Smith is going to be playing today, and Alex Highsmith is going to be playing as well. Those are both edge rushers that we were kind of watching this week with some injury stuff. Although I think Zadarius it wouldn't surprise me if his stuff was a little bit more contract-ish related, if that makes sense. Because I think he wants a little bit more money, and he's played really well the last 2 years. One of the better pass rushers in the league. Let's see what we got here. Got another question here in the chat. No, you're good. All right, last question. Would you trade CEH, Damian Harris, and Ayuk for CMC, Mike Thomas, and Jalen Reagor? I have Zeke and DK. Thanks.
Woof.
Damn. So you're basically trading 3 guys you could play every single week
for Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, for Christian McCaffrey.
But then you would have DK, Zeke, and Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, then you have DK.
I just think I'd rather get rid of Zeke, but that's just for me, who's thinking Tony Pollard's going to be a lot more involved than people think.
You and this Tony Pollard guy.
His snaps did not equal it, but every time he was in there, it seemed like they had a player ready for him.
I have a new term for guys like that. I've decided. So you know how we call like third down backs, like Giovanni Rosa, call them scat backs.
Okay.
So I have a word for these guys that come in. They're not really just third down backs. They're guys that expel guys. I'm gonna call them, but everybody talks about how great they look. They're called flashbacks. They're always flashing. You know,
okay.
Raheem Mostert's a flashback. This guy, Tony Pollard's a flashback. Who else is another flashback? Who was that guy who came in last year? Dontre Hillard for the Browns for a couple of games. He kind of flashed. Do you remember that? He was a flashback. Okay. So I think this is a fun term that I'm going to start throwing around because I see it a lot. These guys, people are like, oh, he could be the one.
What about Nyheim
Hines? Quadre Ollison, he was a flashback. It was like,
what about Nyheim Hines?
Some of these guys are different. Like,
is that just a pass catching back?
I think he's like a legitimately good at his role, and he can take a game where he can carry the ball 20 times. He shouldn't, but he can. So I like the Jordan Wilkins would be closer to what I call flashback. He goes in, he has a couple of carries, and people are like, oh, you know, he's going to take stuff away from or Marlon.
I just think Pollard is above that level, but fair enough.
All right, let's answer this poor man's question.
It's tough. I mean,
here's the thing. You need a temperature check on CMC and Jalen Reagor around your league, and just have an honest conversation with yourself. Because what I would be trying to do if I did this trade was I don't want Jalen Reagor or Michael Thomas at all. So if you think you can flip Jalen Reagor and Michael Thomas for anything else that's halfway decent, and you get CMC and I don't know, T. Higgins or something like that, and then you get rid of all those other pieces, I might be interested in that. But if the net trade is Thomas and Reagor and those guys are like on my team, I don't want anything to do with that. I don't even want them on my team because they could just sit there. You know what I mean? Like, what if Reagor goes out today and does what he did all last season? Gets 3 targets and catches one of them. You know what I mean? You're done. Like, you're toast. And someone's going to blow up this week, and you're going to want to drop him, but you can't because you just traded away all these pieces for him. That's not how I'm trying to live.
It's tough because those are 3 usable pieces almost every week for 1 usable piece.
Exactly. And if Damian Harris, think about this too. You're selling CEH and Damian Harris, or you're trading them at essentially like a static value they've kind of had for a while now. If they go out today or this week and even put up 18, 19 points, it's a spike. It's going to spike that value. So I don't think there's a world where Jalen Reagor and Michael Thomas's value spikes this week. So all the guys on your side could go up in value, whereas everybody on his side could go down. So that's kind of how I view that trade. So I wouldn't do it. I'd stick with CEH, Damian Harris.
I would love to know what else is on that guy's roster than like Jalen Reagor.
His Pollard.
Well, he has Pollard. I'm talking about on the other guy's roster with CMC. Yeah. Like, I wonder what other kind of wide receiver he would be willing to let go of.
All right, we got some more questions here coming in from Buzz on the YouTube. DJ Moore or Robbie Anderson week 1? Damn, that's the same game.
Same team.
Same team.
Either one. I mean, you're going against the Jets.
Because you drafted DJ Moore higher. So you just, I mean, if this is redraft, you have to play DJ Moore, in my opinion.
Either of them will be fine. I don't think either of them are going to have a bad game.
Nope, we need an answer, Billy.
You can't do both.
Hedging shit on this show.
Fine, I'll do Robbie Anderson.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, Sam Darnold has a little familiarity with him.
There you go, bud. How's that for a split ticket?
It's a double revenge game. The old double revenge. Both of them are going against the Jets. They're old stomping grounds. Revenge.
Should I pick up Cameron Jordan or JJ Watt from waivers? I mean, yes, but like, what does that really mean for you? If they're on your waivers, what does that mean? Like, how many starters do you have at that position? And who would you be dropping to get either of those players? But those are both good guys. But just further proof as well that you can do 0 DL draft strategies and still get good players late.
Yeah, if those guys are on the waivers, that kind of like lends credence to your
Dude, I know, and it's funny because all these other guys in IDP are like, it's not a viable strategy, and I'm just like, okay, like, but it is because I do it all the time. I got Carlos Dunlap. You saw the message I sent out the other day about Carlos Dunlap. If you go look at Carlos Dunlap's points for point, snap for snap over the last 2 years, he's outscored Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack's getting drafted right now, or was getting drafted as like a top 12, top 15 defensive line player, and Carlos Dunlap was going completely undrafted in leagues. Completely undrafted. Points per snap, it was 0.22 for Khalil Mack, and for Dunlap, it was 0.27. And Mack has played 3 more games than Carlos Dunlap, but he's only outscored him by 41 points. And Carlos Dunlap is free. Okay, so when people are like, I don't know what zero DL strategy is, that sounds made up. It wouldn't work in my leagues. Those people are just talking out of their ass. They're not actually paying attention. They're not doing the math.
Right.
I already have T. Higgins, LO. Okay, we're backed up on questions because I'm sitting up here on my soapbox, on my milk crate.
Your zero DL.
First time in IDP, which 3 would you start between Roquan Smith, Tremaine Edmonds, Joe Schobert, and Eric Kendricks? I would start the first 3, and I would sit Kendricks. Actually,
against Cincinnati's terrible O-line.
I know. Well, here's the thing. I'm not sitting Roquan. I'm not sitting Schobert.
I would sit Edmonds over.
Yeah, I kind of have like a big stake in Edmonds this year, though. Like,
that's why you want to start him. I would say Eric Kendricks.
Okay, Billy's telling you. So it's between Edmonds and Kendricks, my guy. So if you're a Bill, you want a double stack of that Bills game. If you want a defensive player out there every snap, play Edmonds.
Pittsburgh's defense is terrible too, right? Or not defense, their offensive line, I meant. My bad.
What?
Their offensive line, I meant. My bad.
Yeah. Oh, there's a talking point I haven't heard 4 billion times this offseason.
It's mostly a joke. Fuck the joke up.
Okay. Tyler Lockett or Miles Sanders in my flex? Standard. Tyler Lockett, easy.
Yeah.
For me.
Well,
Tyler Lockett's a beast.
Man. Okay.
How many goal line attempts are the Eagles going to have? Because that's where Miles.
I don't know, but against Atlanta, that is another like shootout possibility. Like,
my guy, Bonzo Bob Wart, 333. Play Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, Lockett against Indianapolis. He's gonna do great.
He's gonna murder him.
Mm-hmm. Kenny Moore and the boys, they don't have a chance.
I can play both if I sit Devontae Smith. I mean, that's what I would do. I don't understand why anyone would want to play a rookie in the first week of the season when you have
because he's playing Atlanta.
Don't get caught up.
I know you don't care about matchups because you're like
caught up in these narratives like this. Week 1, Atlanta. We don't even. What if Atlanta's good on defense?
That would be shocking. That would be shocking.
Okay, but would it be less? It would be less or more shocking than Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore both being good. Like, I'm just gonna play them.
I'd probably trust them against the Jets.
Exactly. Like, don't play with Devontae Smith. Don't play. I mean, that's me.
Hey, I know you look at the matchups and you're like, screw the matchups.
No, the matchups care, but I'm just saying, is the Jets matchup any better or worse? I mean, it's
not. I mean, those are all 3 good options.
Okay. Chris Michelle from YouTube, my guy, what's up? He says, morning, fellas. Question: OBJ or Hollywood Brown in my wide receiver 3 spot? I've Jefferson and Lockett in my 1-2. See, I'm different. I'm going Brown. I think I don't.
Brown. Was he going to catch 40 yards? I know I have his jersey, but like, come on.
Okay, here's the thing. The only pass catchers that are healthy on this team are Hollywood and Mark Andrews. So he's going to get funneled targets, I think. Their run game is now going to be suspect. They lost their 2 backup backs. This could be a game where they have to throw. That favors Hollywood.
Well, if you want to go to the other game, Cleveland Chiefs, they're going to have to throw, and it's going to be a throwdown. It's not going to be a showdown. It's going to be a throwdown.
Isn't OBJ like a game time decision? Like,
that's the only thing he's hinging on. If he's hurt, obviously don't play him. But if he's playing, fire him up because you're going to have to pass. And Tyrann Mathieu might not be fully back. We'll see. I mean, he's back in the game from coming off of COVID.
All right. So Billy says OBJ. I say Hollywood.
If you're trusting Hollywood, you learn nothing from last season. Nothing.
I don't trust OBJ. That's where I'm at in my life. I have OBJ on a team right now, and I have him on the bench. I only have him on one team. People,
I'm sure you're playing a better
this
person.
This is literally the
him,
only time I've ever even had OBJ ever playing fantasy for like 5 or 6 years. He's on my bench. So
I would say in the future, probably not play him, but like this game, yes. They're going to have to throw. It's going to be a shootout.
Bruh, you crazy. All right. David. Oh, I see what you did there. One starter, Danielle Hunter, needs a solid backup. Okay, so that goes back to this previous question. I would pick up J.J. Watt over Cam Jordan still. That's just me.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, Bill from YouTube says Montgomery or Mostert, non-PPR. I'm going Montgomery. Well, yeah, I think I'm going Montgomery.
I would go Montgomery.
His overall volume is going to be there, although he has a much tougher matchup than Mostert.
He does.
I'm still going to go.
I could see him fall into the end zone.
Exactly, and I don't know what the Rams linebackers. I mean, the Rams linebackers are nobody of note yet. So if he can get through that first level into that second level, I mean, it's all bets are off. Because David Montgomery, I'm sure you all remember the graphic. He's got the hips of Saquon. He's got the balance of Alvin Kamara. Got the speed.
Now this interests me.
Zach Moss is inactive today.
He is factually inactive. That's interesting.
Oh, damn. What? That's nuts. All right. So now
that's
you
not good.
Up your Singletaries.
That's not good.
Lego.
So it's him and Breida. It's those two.
Mm-hmm. He's so fast. Matt Breida.
Why is Zach Moss inactive? Bills. We need some answers.
Yeah, Bills Mafia. I'm sure one or two of you sitting in here. What's up? All right, Travis Knott on the YouTube says, should I start Cameron Curl or John Johnson this week? Curl is higher in your ranks. Yeah, I would start Curl over John Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a little worried because from what I can recall the last couple of years, even though the Chiefs throw a lot, they don't give up a lot of defensive points or IDP points to safeties from what I remember the last couple of years. So I kind of, and with the way the Chiefs or the Browns defense is shaping up, it looks like Ronnie Harrison might be the primary strong safety versus John Johnson. But you guys know that safeties move around a lot. So I try not to get stuck in those like ruts of like, he's back, he's front, like that. But I believe Cameron Curl is the player I would rather play this week. I mean, that's just flat out how I am.
Same.
Good question. Derek Monk on the YouTube says, start 4, Zaven Collins, Zach Cunningham, CJ Mosley, Kenneth Murray, and Boysaid Olakun.
CJ Mosley for sure.
Okay.
Going against Darnold.
Is that who's that? Who you're sitting?
No, that's who I'm starting. Starting Mosley.
Okay. There's one.
Olakun probably, right? Probably a lot of tackle for.
I'm probably sitting Mosley.
Philly.
I'm
sitting Mosley.
No, I might sit Collins actually.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Sit Collins until you know exactly what his role is.
Yeah. So I would start your other guys. I would wait on Collins.
If Collins goes off this week, you're just going to be happy that it's there. Like and personally, that's how I'm going to feel because I have Collins on a couple rosters. When he goes off, I'm going to be like, thank God I have him because that's good going forward. But this week, if he's not good, you're going to be like, damn, I didn't think it was going to be like that.
Yeah. So take your known commodities. Take Murray, Olakun, Cunningham, and Collins. Did we just answer that? Yes. Cool. Thanks. You're welcome. Visca or Myers in at flex, half PPR from YouTube, AWM.
See, so Myers versus Miami or Visca versus Houston. Probably Visca. I'm a big Chenault guy, so
I'm with you there too.
I'm firing all my Chenault shares up this year, especially in this terrible game.
I'm looking at the inactives here. See if there's anything of note. LJ Collier from the Seahawks is inactive.
Trey Sermon's inactive today.
Are you serious?
Uh-oh.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Uh-oh.
Are you?
Everybody who I said sit Mostert, do not sit Mostert. I'm so sorry for saying that.
Are you serious?
I'm dead.
Where is it? I need to see it.
Adam Schefter just tweeted it out 2 minutes ago.
I'm dead on the inside right now.
Okay, everybody who I said start or sit Mostert, do not sit Mostert against Detroit. Don't do that. Mostert needs to be in that lineup.
Oh, why is he inactive? Why? I need fucking answers. Are you kidding me right now? Javon Kinlaw is also inactive. What the fuck?
Wow.
All right.
I hate this. I hate this for you.
Shefty, I know you're watching. Just text me.
Yeah.
Text me, bro. I gotta have answers for this. I'm so fucking mad right now.
This will be fun.
I've missed football so much.
These emotions before game time.
I know it's fun. All right, I'm checking the rest of the inactives here if there's anything crazy.
Emmanuel Sanders is active. Nobody was going to start him probably, but it was a question going into the week.
If y'all follow me on Twitter at 50 Shades of Drunk, I have a list of all 32 NFL teams. If you click on my list, that's what I'm looking at. They all post their inactives. So that's really easy to look at. Xavier Rhodes is inactive. Not really seeing any big names inactive today on
I just
defense.
saw the two.
Gardner Minshew's inactive. That's a real bummer. That's my guy.
It is a bummer. Who's their backup, I wonder, after Minshew?
Flacco.
Oh, yeah. How could I forget?
How could you forget? Super Bowl champ.
Super Bowl champ.
All right, we got more questions here. I'm sorry, I'm neglecting my people. All right, what we got here? Ernest says, "What's the best team to stream your defense against on a weekly basis?" The Giants,
Jets, Giants, Houston,
Eagles,
Jacksonville, Eagles.
Yep, those guys should fumble the ball a lot.
Yes,
and then be down a lot and forced to throw. And make
any rookie quarterback that's not San Francisco, probably good to fire your stream up against them.
Half PPR flex coming in from YouTube, Sunny D2293.
Wow.
Tyler Higbee,
What a question.
Darnell Mooney, Terrence Marshall, or Ramondre Stevenson. Who you got?
What? Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you. What a question.
Yeah. I love
man, I don't trust Higbee against the Bears. I almost want to fire up Mooney. I just because of the him versus Jaylen Ramsey
Andy
thing.
Dalton throwing in the rock.
Yeah, well, it Mooney versus Ramsey was a big deal in the playoffs or whatever. Like that was a fun matchup. So I would love to see them go at it again today. I just can't. I couldn't start Marshall or Stevenson with a straight face because I don't know what their workload's going to be like in week 1.
I'm going to take you make a good point. I might stick with Mooney as well. It's between Mooney and Marshall. I would not start Tyler Higbee, and I would not start Stevenson.
Stevenson, I think, as the season goes on, he's going to be like the goal line back for probably, but like in game 1, I don't know.
Exactly. Like it wouldn't shock me if like he touched the ball like twice. You know,
yeah, and just to get him going. Or maybe in the second half if it's a blowout for some reason.
And that's going to be really annoying whenever, the first 3 pass attempts by the Bears and the Panthers go to Mooney and Marshall. And you're just going to be getting there grinding your teeth. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We are fully back.
Mooney.
Prepare to weep. All right, what we got here is Debo or Juju PPR.
So Juju versus the Bills or Debo versus the Lions? Probably.
That's tough. I'm going to go Juju. People underestimate Juju. He gets targets.
They're going to have to throw. Like that's.
They're going to have to throw. It's going to be a high-scoring game. Yeah, I'm going Juju. 100%.
Juju. Yeah.
That came in from C-Dog on the YouTube. We got a lot of people on YouTube. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up the video. We appreciate that. Tell a friend, tell a league mate about us. And come back next week. We'll be here every week, 11 Eastern, doing this. Answering the questions, going over the news, breaking stuff. Albert Alexander coming in from the YouTube says linebacker Dre Greenlaw or Troy Reader. Tacklers score best in my league. What do you got? Who you got? Here's my thing with Dre Greenlaw. People hype him up like he's like done something, but he has never really done anything.
He's had a couple of good weeks. That's the problem with like looking at his stats as a whole. Like it looks decent. But they all happen in a couple of games. You're going to get some duds out there
Most of the time, he doesn't get. I mean, even as a full-time linebacker, quote unquote, he is barely. He gets pulled off the field more than you think. So I'm going to go Reader. I'm just going to shoot my shot. When I've played Dre Greenlaw personally, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen him go over 10 points in my lineup. So I just don't want anything to do with it. Now, that's not. So don't be surprised if something crazy happens today because they are playing. They are playing Detroit. He could get an interception or something like that. So don't come, trying to hunt for my head. But in that same game, I'm going to go Reader. He showed some ability to get some pass rush snaps last year. He had quite a few impact plays in that game versus Washington. But against Andy Dalton, I like him to be able to get some tackles and get some stuff done. Got the double flame emoji back. What up, y'all? All right. What up?
Fire up Raheem Mostert. Everyone out there listening right now.
So angry. All right. So I have to go look at my lineup. So I did have a couple of lineups where Trey Sermon was
starting. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I mean, you believe in him, so I can't really say much, but wow, I love it.
Now. Dang, I gotta pull Zach Moss's bitch ass out of here.
I really want to know why. Like, I don't know. I'm not trusting my Lord and Savior Kyle Shanahan, but this is one I'm interested in.
Should I start Tevin Coleman or Philip Lindsay?
Tevin Coleman or Philip Lindsay.
These are deep leagues, brother.
Probably Lindsay against Jacksonville.
Really? You're going to do me like that, huh? All right.
How could you trust a
You're
Jet?
The expert here. I mean, I'm going to take your advice.
How could you trust a Jet?
That's true. How could I trust a Jet? Well, I'm playing Elijah Moore in that same match.
A Jet running back, for that matter.
Well,
their last good one was like 8 years ago.
Deep league. I had to pull Zach Moss out of my starting lineup. Okay, like that's what this league's like.
I mean, I feel you. I would have liked Zach Moss in this game.
Sometimes fantasy football hurts.
Yeah, it does.
But it's so amazing. Yeah, happy to help, Albert. Hope you're back here next week.
Yes.
More questions, hit us up. Follow us on YouTube or on Twitter. At 50 Shades of Drunk, at Hombra Vendor. Go follow the podcast stream if you guys want. Billy hosts our other pod, the Offensive Points Pod, which we don't post the whole show on the channel right now. We do like segments. But if you want to check out the whole show,
save a little bit for the podcast people.
Yeah. Save an hour and 20 minutes or so.
Yeah. We got to shorten those things. I'm talking to the guys about that.
All right. Sunny D 2293. One more. Hitting us again. Start Jayon Brown at linebacker, Jeremy Chin at DB, or Jeremy Chin at linebacker and Derwin James at DB. IBT 1, 2, 3 simplified scoring. I would start Chin and Derwin over Jayon.
That's what I was going to say. The same.
Traditionally, I would go with the linebacker, but Jayon Brown last year was just Not to say he can't be good this year.
I know you hate Kyler Murray, but like a linebacker tackling Kyler Murray is going to be tough. That's a tough prospect every week. So if you take the sack upside out of his game, that's going to be tough.
Yep. So, all right, Devin Singletary, welcome to the starting roster, bud. You've been promoted, son. Here's a helmet.
Good for him. I'm glad he was able to get in there.
Dang, I got him on a lot of rosters too. I've been a big Singletary stan for a while.
Man, if that happens for like a couple of weeks,
it won't.
Everybody who got those Singletary shares like in the 13th round are going to be fucking jumping up for joy.
They don't run enough though. That's the thing. Like even
I still want a usable back in that offense.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely usable. Deshaun Watson is out. And what is
it? Big surprise there.
Yeah, what do you think's going to end up happening there? Anything?
I don't know. Not sure.
Y'all have any more questions for us? We are here to get them for you. So
why he's not already on the commissioner's exempt list, I'm not sure.
Goodell's been busy, hanging out with Ed Sheeran and
big busy.
Childish Gambino and doing stuff like that.
LJ Collier is inactive. That's interesting. You weren't starting him for Seattle, but still.
Yeah, it definitely gives you more confidence again in Carlos Dunlap. I've been telling people all off season. I mean, like I can't hear anybody. Nobody talks about Carlos Dunlap. just IDP in general. If anybody's out there that makes IDP content, we need you to, keep pushing the envelope forward because, I mean, people are out here just getting took left and right and center. Don't be one of those people. Join the IDP army. Go take.
Yeah.
Oh,
man,
I got Troy Reeder in quite a few lineups straight up. So if that lets anybody out there know kind of how I've been feeling already. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean?
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I'm just reading through some of these inactives.
No, do it. If you see anything else that's noteworthy, I mean, just shout it out. I'm going through, guys, gals, go to your lineups. Make sure you're pulling out Moss. Make sure you're,
firing up Mostert.
Fire up Mostert, Singletary. Pull out Sermon, begrudgingly, as I just did.
If you're a Texas Longhorn fan, I'm sorry for you this morning. Sorry, I had to sneak that in.
I mean, you don't have to apologize for it to me. College football is a scam.
A scam?
It's been a scam. It's not anymore. Now the players are getting paid.
Fair enough.
Oh my gosh, I have a team where I literally don't have a backup running back for Sermon. I'm headed to the waivers, ladies.
What are you? What?
Hey, it's a short bench. Short bench. Chill.
Love to be in your drafts. So you only have 2 running backs or 3?
Be so judgy. Yeah, I have 2. I have a short bench. All right, Tyron Johnson. It's like a 14. I think it's a 14-team league. Only 5 bench spots, and we start 1, 2, 3, 6 IDPs, and then we start a super flex, and then 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs. So I mean, my bench is short. I got Trey Lance and Drew Lock on my bench because I mean it's super flex, so you still want to have quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I guess I'm gonna drop Drew Lock, pick up Ty Johnson. That's where we're at. The rubber's meeting the road.
If anybody's out there that's playing daily fantasy, Mac Jones, hella cheap, like $4,400. That's a good, easy way to make your stacks work. Also, I'll just admit that De'Ami Brown is $3,000. I'd fire him up too, with Curtis Samuel being out.
Just put De'Ami Brown in a lineup.
That's pretty cheap to get him in there. And then the other cheap option would be Marquez Callaway. It's $3,400.
Sorry for all the questions, my guy, Sonny D.
Keep asking questions. This is the one time we want as many questions as possible.
We got 15, 20 people sitting in here. Let's give them something. All
right, you can just ask us how our day's going. I'll tell you that too.
Sorry for all the questions. All right, DST stream of the week: Vikings, Chargers, Packers, Giants. I don't get the whole Packers love this week. They're playing the Saints. Like, aren't they playing at the Superdome?
Well, it's because of Jameis, probably.
I mean, again, people act like he's going to throw 5 interceptions. I mean,
he's not, but
interceptions. That's what I mean.
Anytime Jameis is in a game,
yeah, you just never know. Don't overdo that. Okay, I would take.
Let's see, against the Giants against the Broncos, Vikings against the Bengals, Chargers against the Washington. That could be interesting for that, and Packers against New Orleans. I don't think Vikings Cincinnati is going to be the lowest scoring. I think Washington Chargers could be.
I could see that turning into a defensive battle,
like 17-10.
Yeah, and then
that seems like
a sacks, just like
realistic
sacks both sides of the ball. Joey Bosa goes off. It could just turn into one of those games.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take that over the Packers, over the Giants, over the Vikings. All right, we got here.
Giants could be too, just because they're bad. But sorry. Yeah.
Wilson or Littleton? Who you got?
Oh man, I don't want anybody from the Raiders. So Wilson.
It's wild. I guess a lot of people still need to set their dynasty lineups, y'all. If you out there and you're in dynasty leagues, get your lineup set. I'm looking at people that I'm playing against it. Their lineups aren't set yet. And I mean, while I enjoy beating them and I do want to win, it's less fun to win a low integrity league where you got 2 or 3 people that kind of just show up here and there than it is to beat people that are trying to beat you. It's a lot more fun. So Do the people in your league you're in with, even if you don't really care about the league, even if you've joined too many leagues, I don't care what your excuse is. Just go set your lineups, guys. Every week too. Don't slow down whenever you start losing. Don't do it.
You want to answer the question?
Yeah, Logan Wilson, baby.
Okay.
Because I don't trust. I mean,
low gang.
The fade video this week I talked about. I'm fading all of the Raiders linebackers, all of them, because I don't know who they want to use. I mean, Corey Littleton's the highest paid, but he didn't do much last year. Nick Kwiatkowski.
Is KJ Wright playing today?
See, and that's the thing. People are talking about KJ Wright with all the familiarity with Gus Bradley in the system. They're talking that he might get the most playing time, but he's only been like a week. So I don't want to mess with that, and I'm just going to bank on Logan Wilson taking the step forward. So thanks for keeping me honest there. All right. Juwanna Smith or Mike Giseki?
Playing each other, same game. I think I'd probably go Jonnu.
Jonnu, eh? Me too.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get a lot of manufactured looks.
Bill Belichick defense, man. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt week 1 going against Tua.
Chris coming in again. What up, my guy? Is it worth dropping Tevin Coleman and stashing Chris Evans from the Bengals due to Coleman's injury history? Ooh. I don't know. I mean, it sounds good, yeah, and it could pay off, yes, but Tevin Coleman, as of this moment, while we're talking, I mean, he still is like the starting running back, allegedly, for the Jets. And Chris Evans is still just a backup for Joe Mixon, everybody's favorite breakout candidate every year to touch the ball. He's never going to leave the field. We're going to give him 400 touches.
The only reason I might disagree with you is that they need a new Gio Bernard on the team, and they're not going to throw it to Mixon for some reason. He's a pass-catching back, but they won't throw him the ball. So Chris Evans has a chance to get into that role later in the season.
Yeah.
I don't have anybody else to do it.
I'm keeping Coleman, my guy.
I would keep Coleman, too, just in case, Rob Saleh and his boy Coleman.
Especially as a drop. I mean, if he goes off today, you don't want him on the waivers. You know what I mean?
That's true. Maybe wait till Monday to make that, or Tuesday.
Play this week out. You drafted him for a reason. I'm going to ride with him.
Yeah, agreed.
For week 1. All right. PJ Ruth 10 from the
he's from the Discord.
Oh, what up, my guy? Another one for you guys. I have Zadarius Smith and Highsmith. Okay, both guys look like they're playing. I have Crosby on my bench. Which two or raid the waivers this week? I think I'm playing Highsmith and Z. I'm still leaving Crosby on the bench.
Yeah.
I will say Lamar, for all of his running around and stuff, he does get sacked a decent amount. And without his weapons and stuff, he could be holding on to the ball long. So you could see they all have a good chance to score this week for you. But I'm going to take the talent. And I mean, Zadarius Smith is basically an all-pro. He should have been an all-pro. And then Highsmith, we saw last year when he was on the field, he's getting a lot of pressure. Even in the preseason, we saw him get a lot of pressure. And he's a hustle player, so he gets tackles that other defensive ends or DL players wouldn't necessarily get because they're not trying to make that play in particular. So I'm going to stick with them over Crosby this week.
Yeah, agreed.
Albert Alexander with another one. Half PPR wide receiver. Oh, you didn't ask this. Oh, you asked a version of this earlier.
Yeah.
Where was that earlier?
Corey Davis versus the Panthers or Visca versus Houston. Probably still going Visca. Here's the thing. I think Urban Meyer is going to use Visca out of the backfield. Like he's going to use him not as a running back, but like he's going to line up sometimes back there and he's going to pass it to him out from Trevor Lawrence. That's just, Urban Meyer in college loved doing that. Like Curtis Samuel made his bones being that guy for Urban Meyer. So I could definitely see him using Laviska Shenault in that capacity this year. So we'll see. I think I would roll with Shenault. That's why I've liked Shenault in the preseason because Urban Meyer loves these kind of guys. So I'm going to, until Urban Meyer, who I think is an idiot, by the way, it's until he proves me wrong, I'm going to roll with that.
Who I think is an idiot, by the way.
I do. He makes us. No, I don't need to get into it. If you listen to my podcast, you know my thoughts on Urban Meyer. He's made a boneheaded mistake every week so far in the offseason, it felt like. Last 3 weeks, he's made one.
If he can win football games, all that other shit gets forgiven. So
last week, they have the number one waiver priority. He puts in one. I've never heard of such a thing. You have the first crack at every waiver edition, and he doesn't do any of them. He is one guy. Sorry.
It's okay. You can rant all you want. I don't have a problem with people going off. Go do your thing. All right, Travis, not Jameis. Start Jameis Winston or Kirk Cousins.
Oof. Kirk
That's
probably
tough.
Against Cincinnati, but
here's my issue with that. Okay, here's my thought process. I think that Jameis Winston versus Aaron Rodgers is going to be a shootout. Like it's built to be just okay, kind of like we saw the other night.
Yeah.
Now Jameis doesn't have the weapons he's always had, but he's still Jameis Winston. And I think a lot of people are going to recognize this year that Jameis Winston is not bad. And the 30 for 30 joke was really fucking funny for 2 years or whatever the fuck ever you had to do it. And he got benched. Yeah. Go fucking delete all your Jameis Winston takes now. Okay? Because he's about to make guys like Antonio Callaway look like all pros, like he did the other night. Because Jameis Winston can throw a dime. Okay? And he's got the coach that wants to do all this stuff, and we'll use him that way. So if he's going against Aaron Rodgers, who's going to put points on the board, you got Kirk Cousins, who's playing against the Bengals, I don't know if they can score. I mean, that's just I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. I'm just going to be real with you. This Vikings team is the same. They're just going to run the same fucking shit back they did last year, okay? And if they get up 7, 10 points, they're not – Kirk Cousins isn't going to throw anymore. They're just going to hand it off and hand it off and hand it off. And Dalvin Cook's going to get first down after first down after first down. This game's going to be over like that. So there's a world where Kirk Cousins' ceiling is limited by his own team's ability to keep up / probably beat the Bengals. Whereas Jameis, I mean, he's gonna have to go toe to toe with Aaron Rodgers today. Like, give me Jameis.
I like that reasoning for sure.
So there you go. Start Damian Harris or Montgomery. Start Montgomery for sure.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
That's coming in from Mason Dale on the YouTube channel. Stephen agrees coming in. What up, my guy? Hey guys, thank you for the help. Love to get your starts. Pick 2, full point PPR, Josh Jacobs, Darrell Henderson, Saquon Barkley, Tyson Williams. Full PPR.
Probably Barkley for sure.
I'm starting Jacobs for sure.
So Jacobs and Barkley.
Yeah.
I don't trust Henderson against the Bears. And I love the story for this Tyson Williams guy. I love the story. His first ever start as a rookie.
A lot like Boston Scott like last year on week 1 when Miles Sanders was out and it just like blew up in everybody's face.
I just hate like a rookie week 1 Monday Night Football under the lights. Like he's got all of the expectations. Feel bad for him, that especially if he loses people weeks in Monday Night Football. Those Minchies are going to be a nightmare on Monday night if he's not good.
Yeah, I'm playing Jacobs and Barkley.
Yeah, I would too.
That's me. I think Jacobs has a chance to be a hoss today, just again because I think this Ravens team. I think people are vastly overrating the Ravens overall. Personally, like they just keep losing players, and people are like, the Ravens are so good. I'm just like, they've lost like half their all pros. They're like, the Ravens are so amazing. I'm like, I mean, yeah, I get it, but
just wait until Lamar has to sit out 10 days because of the COVID protocol.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, this question's built for you right here. I love this.
Lou32 Lofton from the YouTube says, Trey Sermon was just a healthy scratch today. Should I drop him or keep him on my bench? I mean, I would keep him on my bench. That's me. I wouldn't drop him. Now, if you dropped him, that's fine. Actually, if you're in leagues with me, you should drop Trey Sermon right now because he's trash.
If it's like, okay, here's the only thing. Lofton obviously don't know what your league looks like. If it's a 5-man or not 5-man, like an 8-man league, you could probably drop him. There's probably someone better on the waiver wire in general.
We're 55 minutes away from football. Sweet hallelujah. Simon C. coming in from YouTube says, Wentz or Carr in a dual QB league. Well, I like that. Dual QB league. Have Stafford in the other slot.
Wentz.
I'm going Carr.
Wentz.
Carr. Bring in the car. Bring in the car. All right, I said Carr. He says Wentz. Simon.
Trust in Derek Carr against Baltimore, by the way. Just letting you know out there, Simon.
In Carr, I stand.
Wentz against Seattle. Bad matchup for Seattle.
Dude.
They have Jamal Adams, bro.
I know. I mean, Carson Wentz is not going to do anything special. All right, should I trade Eckler for Darren Waller and tight end premium? My other tight ends are Giseki, Juwanna. My other
yes.
are Alvin. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
If he's already got a hamstring injury right now and someone's got that trade open to you, yes. Especially
Sonny,
tight end premium.
I'm telling you, you're about to win your league with this trade, my guy. Like this wins you the league right here. You got to make that trade.
Yeah, Sonny. Aren't you glad you kept asking questions? You might have walked out of here not knowing that you're about to win your league.
That is a league-winning trade right there. Yes.
It really is.
A tight end premium, Darren Waller. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, he's going to get a zillion yards this year.
Yeah.
Steven. Thanks. Yeah, agree on Jacobs. So much talk about the defense they are going against, but starting to think otherwise. Yeah. You'll realize that, there's been a lot of talk. There's been so much talk.
Mm-hmm. Baltimore's defense is trash, as Jordan would say.
I didn't say that. Okay, I'm just saying there's been a lot of talk. Okay, I remember last year coming into the year, the Eagles, there was a lot of talk about Carson Wentz and this Eagles team. You know, their offensive line's banged up, but this Eagles team, it's something special. You know, they got the guys there. They got all their guys. Everyone. There's always a lot of talk in the offseason. Fade it. Fade most of it. We're here now. Watch.
It's going to be fun.
It is. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Excited.
Couldn't be more thrilled.
No other late inactives, so that's good.
Yeah, any more big inactives out there floating around? Any more stop-sit questions out there? Oh, got another one coming in. Yeah, they usually flow in pretty heavy at the end, I remember from last year. Denny Pelletier from YouTube says, Zaven Collins, Deion Jones, or Miles Jack, pick 2. Jones and Jack.
Yeah.
I'm not playing a rookie when I have guys that I have finished as top 15 linebackers multiple seasons.
Collins might be there by the end of the season, but
yeah, for sure. But I'm not. Just a little rich to be. Again, I think it's super important to come out and get a win week 1, because if you get a loss this week, if you lose next week, it gets that. It's like exponentially harder. Like, you just need to get that first W under your belt. Don't get cute. Don't chase upside. Don't play rookies, in my opinion, at position, except for maybe running back. Unless you have to. I mean, if it's a deep league and you know a guy's going to get the start. But if you have starters like Jones and Jack, stick with Jack and Jones. You got to go soon?
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, we'll hop off of here probably about, I don't know, 10, 15 more minutes. We'll let you all kind of keep sifting through your lineups, get any questions you have into us. We'll just keep breaking down, kind of our thoughts on the week. Make sure you check us out. I mean, we got a good season lined up for you guys. We'll have the recap and a waiver show that'll come out tomorrow night / Tuesday morning. Then the offensive points podcast will come out on Wednesday nights. Thursday there'll be a Dynasty Tailgate. That's Billy doing a college show.
Well, / Dynasty.
Yeah, it's just
we're trying to talk Devy, but it's tough to talk about. I don't know how people play Devy. It's the hardest thing in the world.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Some of these guys that are really good freshmen, how can you think that they're going to be easily draftable in 3 years?
5 years. Especially when 1 or 2 of them are going to get injured. All right. They got my Friday fades, which will be a show I'll do every week. And I'm not going to do like a ranking show like I did last year because it kind of gets redundant, people said, and I kind of agree. So my rankings will be down in the comments or in the show notes or whatever, and on our website, idparmy.com. You can go there if you want to actually talk about rankings and stuff. We do have a Patreons only live stream we're going to do every other Saturday night. Join the Patreon if you want to get in on that. We have a Discord where we talk start, sits, trades, dynasty, blah, 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 all kinds of stuff. Then the index obviously is our flagship product. It's what up, Richard? It's time, guys. Richard was here with us a lot last year. What's up, my guy? Super DL is here. Hit me about who you got. Man, you missed our talk about Carlos Dunlap earlier, I guess. Carlos Dunlap, I mean, he's been on a points per snap basis, he's been better than Khalil Mack the last 2 years. He basically goes undrafted right now. DeMarcus Lawrence, go get him on your teams. He looked good the other night. He didn't get home for a sack or anything, but he was busy. So I really like to see that. And kind of a sleeper because I know in my drafts he was going like the 20th round. I mean, he was like the 20th or 30th DL going a lot of times, which is kind of crazy. But with that surgery in the offseason he had on his back, he was already kind of low and he started slipping more. You got any other sleeper DL? I had Josh Sweat, did a video. He was on the channel the other day.
Yeah, Josh Sweat's a good one.
Rashawn Gary is another one I really like a lot. I mean, some of the guys I thought would be breakouts or do good last year that didn't. I'm kind of back in on low key. I mean, Dante Fowler, I'm definitely going to watch what they do with him on the Falcons, and Ryan Kerrigan and Robert Quinn, all a little bit older guys, but had some injury stuff / playtime stuff. So I'm not necessarily sure that they're washed as much as they just weren't on the field. So they're dirt cheap. Albert says, half PPR. Crowder and Cole are out for the Jets. Should I flex Corey Davis over Myles Gaskin?
Yes.
Really? All right.
Yes.
I have no comment because I don't have either of those guys on any roster.
Myles Gaskin's going against New England, and he might be in a timeshare. If I was going to sit Myles Gaskin for 1 week, for sure, it would probably be this one.
That's fair. It's crazy how you can be in so many leagues. Like I'm in like 17, 18, 19 leagues this year. I don't have Corey Davis in any of them. I don't think I have Myles Gaskin.
I went mainly RB heavy, and Corey Davis was one of those guys really late in drafts that you could snag.
Always
he
around.
was just left. Yeah.
16-man PPR, Chenault or Judy in my flex.
Chenault.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I'm going Chenault all day. He's going to be the check down king for Trevor. So.
You mean James Robinson? His name is James Robinson.
Yeah, not a pass catching back.
All right, Denny's back again on the YouTube. Says, forgot to ask about CJ Mosley. Would you start him over Myles Jack or Deion Jones? I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either.
I would not.
I like Mosley just over those two, no.
Bingo. Like Mosley, but over those two, nah. I'm double checking my lineups here, as you all should be doing.
Seeing if there's any other random people in there.
Should I start Cameron Curl or Tracy Walker?
Ooh.
And don't defer me to my own rankings because
probably Cam Curl, I would think.
See, I have Tracy Walker in there.
Okay. You're the IDP king. I don't want to tell you what to
do. But I'm still a man. I'm still, not locked in yet.
I just think Curl could.
There's still time to ruin it.
I just don't think they're going to – I think if they're going to throw at one person, it's not going to be Landon Collins' side. It's going to be Curl's side. So there's just more chance. Well, what side do you think they would throw to?
I don't know. I mean, he's more playing safety, so I don't really know.
They're both safeties.
I know, but it's like I don't really look at it as sides. I don't know.
Well, okay, yeah, because they could help to either side. But I don't know.
Maybe I just look at it differently.
That's fine.
I just look at it like this. Tracy Walker the last 3 years has been the leading tackler for the Detroit Lions. Even getting his ass pulled out of games all the time last year, he led the team in tackles. So if you're just going for your floor plan, I think I'm going to play Tracy Walker. And that's as a huge Cameron Curl stan.
No, you don't like him. That's fine.
Okay. You sound like me now.
I gotta flip the script on you sometimes.
Yeah. Man, I can't wait for Austin Hooper to go out there and just give it to everybody this year. Because he's going to.
Mm-hmm.
You don't sound like you have faith.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. I got Austin Hooper in my top 6 tight ends this year. Fantasy pros got mad at me. They're like, "Oh, do you want to adjust your rankings?" I was like, "Fuck no."
All right, let's get to these questions. The next one.
All right, TJ Watt or Miles Jack? TJ Watt, easily.
Yes.
David says Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah or Logan Thomas or Chris Barnes or Von Bell for second IDP flex.
So here is my question for you with the Joker in Cleveland. So it's going to be him and Anthony Walker, right? As the linebackers.
That's like the word.
So who do you think will be tasked with Kelsey this week?
I don't know. Probably John Johnson.
You don't think they're going to cover him with a linebacker?
I don't think that would be wise. Not with
I think he's going to have help, but I think he's going to eat. Or I think Kelsey eats safeties alive.
Yeah, I mean, in general, yeah, but I mean, I think that the safeties are going to have a better chance of stopping.
Well, I just think if they try to pick on Jeremiah Koramoah, then maybe that would be the way to go. I don't know. I'm interested to see what your thought process is on that.
I don't know. Again, I don't look at the game quite like that necessarily. But of all, I would take Logan Wilson, or Von Bell.
Probably as well. Probably.
Again, it's one of those situations where he's a rookie. If he goes out and has a couple of bad snaps, I mean, he could get sat down. You know what I mean? They have veterans like BJ Goodson, I think, is still on the roster. They have Sion Takitaki, Mac Wilson. They have guys that have been there for a couple of years that if he goes out there and he gets put in a blender on the first 2 series, we might not see him again. You know what I mean? So I'm a little hesitant to put him out there. Von Bell is your safest bet. He's not going to lead the field. Von Bell's not. And then Logan Wilson is another good one. They're going to be coming up against Dalvin Cook a lot. They're going to run the ball a lot. Minnesota will give you plenty of tackle opportunities on the ground. I think there's going to be a lot of first downs in that game as well. So I'm going to go Von Bell, Logan Wilson, one of those two. And if I had to be honest, I'd probably start Von Bell because I think he's the absolute safest play.
Okay.
Just dropped Randy Gregory for Josh Sweat. All right. I don't know if I would 100% do that, but I might. Gregory didn't look bad the other night.
He did not.
Full point PPR, Eckler or Barkley? Eckler. We know Barkley's gonna be on some sort of, even if they don't say he's limited or he's full go, whatever.
Are we sure Eckler's not going to be in a similar situation?
True, but
Josh Kelly is inactive, so that makes me think they feel a lot better about Eckler.
My thing with Eckler is we've always expected Eckler to see less usage than most running backs. So that's not even like really part of his equation. Like what is less for him is less than 15 is now he touches the ball 13 times. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, wouldn't Barkley's limited snap count be about Eckler's ceiling?
Well, that's the thing. Okay, but Barkley, to do what Barkley has done in the past to be successful, he's needed 25, 30 touches. For Eckler to do what he's done in the past, he's only needed 13 to 18 touches. So if you're telling me he's going down a few, that's going to affect him a lot less than Barkley going down a lot, in my opinion, just because he's already – I mean, that's going back to how he's been used in the past. I don't know that this new regime is going to – maybe they did want to give Eckler 25 touches. I don't know. Maybe they did.
I don't know.
But I've seen Eckler be very successful on a dozen to 18 touches way more times than I've seen Barkley be successful on that many touches. So I'm going to go with Eckler. And that's that.
Fair enough.
Allen Robinson or Melvin Gordon? Man, I'm playing Robinson, especially if it's PPR.
Yeah, I don't want any part of a running back going against Giants this year.
Yeah, I don't want that. I love Melvin Gordon, but If I can pull him out of my lineup for a stud like Allen Robinson, I mean,
Yeah,
I can love Melvin Gordon on my bench.
even though they're going against the Rams, I still think there's not like a lockdown person on the Rams anymore. Jaylen Ramsey's good. He's not as locked down as he used to be.
Yeah, it's funny when you go look at some of these guys' stats over the years. And again, everyone's like, "Oh, we don't looking at stats is dumb." But I mean, in my opinion, stats tell you what a player does on the field. I'm not trying to. Everybody wants to get into these third and fourth and fifth level nuanced, discussions. Pass rush win rate to the left side crap. I'm just like, okay, that's great. I'm not here for that. But I mean, you look at Jaylen Ramsey coming in the league. I mean, he was getting multiple interceptions every year. He was getting up there like 18, 19 pass deflections. He was getting, 50, 60, 70 tackles. Now he's getting like one interception a year, like 40 tackles.
I don't throw at him.
I know, but he's also not playing just like straight man anymore either, where
that's
he
true
is
too.
kind of getting in guys' faces and he is getting his opportunities. Like you said, they just can stay away from him.
Yeah.
So, like you said, maybe he still is just as good, but he's not as good for IDP or for fantasy purposes. And his numbers aren't going to look good until he's playing the style he was playing before, which is crazy that he's been so good at both styles of play that he's been on, but one's a lot flashier.
Going with Allen Robinson.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy one. All right, y'all. We'll give you, what is it right now? 11:20 my time. 11:21. We'll give you 9 more minutes, and at 11:30 we are going to cash out. But like I said, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be putting stuff up here all week. Join the Patreon if you want to. Follow us on Twitter. We'll be tweeting about the games and stuff as much as we can when we're not watching them, obviously.
Follow the TikTok too.
Yeah, get our TikTok.
We're getting somewhere with that TikTok.
Slowly but surely. I gotta do more. I just gotta figure out how to do it properly. My problem is like when I write the stuff, like getting it to like pin for the amount of time that I'm actually saying that thing. Like there's got to be an easier way to do that on TikTok. I have noticed some people, if the smart people, they do the segments and then they just put it for the whole segment and they do like the next segment. But I can't even like figure out how to like break the segments up properly. I'm such a boomer.
You are a boomer. We have a whole team working on ours, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, you guys are great.
Hey, we appreciate everybody who's commenting in there. I know there are people from like the Discord, from like the IDP Army. Like I know it's not just like randos on TikTok. There are some, but not everybody. There's some people from here.
Fellas, need help. That's what we're here for. I have Joey Bosa and Chase Young. Which one do I start?
Wow, what a problem to have.
On paper, the answer is Joey Bosa.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I think that you're going to have a better chance of him having a better game. My rankings might not even say that. And if they don't, I'm sorry.
The craziest part is like Chase Young, like his last year, like he would be like not having much of a game. And then one play, he would have like a strip sack, fumble, recovery, touchdown.
I heard somebody say,
God dang.
I heard somebody say something so dumb the other day. They were talking about top defensive line players, and they were naming off all the guys that they thought were in the top tier. And they named off Chase Young as somebody they'd be willing to reach on. They don't say Montez Sweat. And I'm just like, Montez Sweat, and it just shows, again, the huge disconnect in IDP. Montez Sweat played 100 less snaps than Chase Young. 100 less snaps. And he outscored him by like 20 points. But this person would rather have Chase Young. When you really look at Chase Young, yeah, he was really good last year, but his numbers were not prolific at all. They were good. They were not prolific.
People act like he was.
Yeah, people
won me a championship, so I was happy.
He was good, but he was not prolific. Joey Bosa is prolific, and he's been prolific in the NFL. He has a higher tackle floor too. Thanks, guys. Hunt or Juju in the flex? I'm going Hunt. I think he's going to get a lot of work today. I think this is a little mini revenge game. Not like it really matters or whatever, but he gets his work. I think he's going to get some targets funneled to him in this game. So I'm going Hunt.
Start everyone against the Cleveland Chiefs game. Start everyone in that game.
Yeah, except for OBJ.
I would say like beside like McCole Hardman, but like yeah.
What do you think about Cordell Patterson playing RB this year? Just asking. I don't have any.
So here, okay, before you dismiss this completely, so Gallman, who got there, given he just got cut and he's now there, but like he's inactive this week. So we'll actually get to see what he looks like as the second back there in Atlanta. I would say this is kind of an audition for him. The offensive coordinator for the Atlanta was in Chicago. He was the quarterback's coach, so he is familiar with Patterson. I would say this week you really need to pay attention to his workload. If he's actually involved and actually gets some touches, some runs, he might be the second back after Gallman, and I don't trust Mike Davis's 30-year-old ass to be healthy the entire season, so it might be an opportunity.
I've seen a lot of really smart people talking up Mike Davis, and it doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, I only say he's old because he's 1 year older than me, but still, old. I'm old. He's old. Everybody's old.
Bates or Simmons? I'm starting Bates. I've actually had this question earlier this week, and it's tough because they're both basically neck and neck, lock for lock, step for step the last couple of years. But I'm just going to go Bates because I'm just going to go Bates. I don't really like the Broncos. Can I do that? I tell people this all the time. Like, there's obviously bias in everyone's analysis and opinion. Some people are less prophetic or profound about speaking it out. But like, I don't like the Eagles. I don't really like the Broncos. I mean, there's teams I was like about. So that does play into, do I want them on my team? Do I put them on my starting roster? So I'm playing Bates over Simmons in that situation. Start 2 full PPR, 1 running back, 1 flex. Joe Mixon, T. Higgins, Debo, and Josh Jacobs. Okay, so we got full PPR. So one has to be a running back. So it's Joe Mixon or Josh Jacobs. I'm gonna take Mixon.
Yeah, I'm taking Joe.
And then your flex,
Higgins.
Do you really want to double up on that game? All right, Higgins.
I just think Burrow's going to go out there and he's going to have to throw. So,
man, if I'm being real with you, I would start mixing in Josh Jacobs. I might get hate for that. That's what I would do. I would flex Josh Jacobs. I know he's one of those guys. Oh, we got another person. Fuck the Broncos. I know a lot of people are very pro. I mean, again, it's one of those smart people things all offseason. Talk about how Josh Jacobs sucks, blah, blah, blah. Josh Jacobs is what he is. And that's still a very startable running back in fantasy football every week. So
we'll see what Kenyon Drake steals. We don't know what that looks like yet.
Kenyon Drake is exactly what Kenyon Drake is. I mean, he's another flashback. He's another perfect example of a flashback, kind of like Raheem Mostert. Like, he doesn't – I mean, it feels like a lot more than it really is.
Remember that bet you made and lost over Kenyon Drake a couple years ago?
I didn't lose that bet. Remember? Because he came out that very first week, and he was the running back one. I said he was going to be a top 15 running back.
You said for the rest of the year.
He was for the rest of the year. Remember, didn't we push it because you?
It was a push because of some technicality.
I fucking won. Do you play Zadarius Smith?
Like today? This revisionist history.
Yes.
Do you play Zadarius Smith today? Yes. Yes, John Fisher. Yes.
You know that. Okay, 2 more minutes. And we're going to shut her down for the week. I can't believe we made it through this week 1 live stream. Thanks for everyone who came on with us. It felt good to get back in here and do this. This is where I think we help people the most in fantasy football. I know a lot of people want to write articles and dig through stuff and all this. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's really just about making the decisions based on the variables on your team, and helping people do that is what they really want. You know, people are like, play Nyheim Hines. I saw that today. But that doesn't really tell you anything. Like, play him over who? Do I take Devin Singletary out to play him? You know, I mean, explain this to me more, because you don't understand how I have to get him into my roster. And that's why I feel like this is useful. I know some people kind of look down on live streaming and start sitting and don't do it. I mean, I enjoy it. I mean, I'm okay being wrong too. Like, I'm sure half these people I told you, we're wrong all the time. Everybody is. But it's just about the process of getting there, and hopefully it takes you the right place more often than not. Mm-hmm. So Yes. Thanks. Appreciate it, Albert. See you guys next week at 11 right back here. Billy, anything to plug before we let the people go?
TikTok, please go follow. I know if you're not into TikTok, I get it. It's fine. It's kind of a younger man's game, but follow the TikTok. We're going to be posting clips there as much as possible. Jordan's going to be putting exclusive content right on there. I mean, he's going to talk directly to people from the TikTok. So
I'm about to do a 10-minute dissertation / screaming match about Trey Sermon.
We do have the option to go live on there. I don't really know how much engagement that would get just yet, but we can definitely try that maybe next week or something.
Yeah, we need to try and get YouTube linked up to this, or not YouTube, but Instagram linked up to this too. I'll try to get that stuff figured out this next week. Give people more ways to watch. But yeah, follow us on Instagram. We do have an Instagram presence, tiny one, and go follow on TikTok. And we will see you all week with waivers, with recaps, with matchups, with some prop betting stuff, with some underdog stacks that we like, with our fades. And we'll be back next Sunday, 11 a.m.
Yep.
Eastern.
Like, subscribe, review.
Bye-bye.